Hi, thank you so much for joining me for today's process video. And today I'm using my Christmas stash along with some Vicki Boutin Peppermint Kisses to document 2 more photos from our trip to New York. This is Amelia and myself underneath an arch that was at the top of 5th Avenue outside the Apple Store. We've been to see the Plaza Hotel and Fountain and spotted this, and she agreed to have a photo with me, which was very nice. So it's a series of 2 photos, one of me kissing her and one of us both hugging underneath this lovely real tree arch. So I've used the stencil from the Vicki Boutin collection, the Peppermint Kisses, to create this plaid background, and I'm just using Distress Oxide in Ice Spruce. Ice Spruce it is? Yes, Ice Spruce. And you can see I'm just pushing that through the stencil using a blending brush. Now, I only have one brush for each colour, so this is my green brush. And it did have some, I think it was Mowed Lawn that I'd used previously. So that shows through a little bit as well, and I'm not sad about that. I like the different tones of the green that it shows through that stencil. So my photos are 3x4, and I'm just matting those onto some white cardstock just to give them a little bit of separation from the background. And I'm going to be adding strips of paper behind these 2 photos. I just went through my box of Christmas papers. I just have a Western box. If you're in the UK, you'll know what Western boxes are, but it's a box that's about probably an inch deep, and it's about 13 by 13, so you can fit papers in really nicely. They're a lovely rigid box with a lift-off lid. And that's what I use to store bigger collections and seasonal papers. So I've got one for Christmas and winter, for example. So just trimming down these backgrounds, and then I can get on with cutting those strips. And I've focused in on greys, reds and blacks for the strips. So this piece is from the paper repack from Peppermint Kisses. I just treated myself to the paper repack, the goodie bag and the stencils from this collection, because I have got a lot of Christmas stuff and I don't scrap an awful lot of Christmas. But with these New York photos, I thought these would mix in really nicely. And actually, a lot of the bits, particularly in the goodie bag, are just generic pieces, hearts and stars and things, which I'll be able to use in my everyday scrapping as well as my Christmas scrapping. So here's another scrap of paper, and like I say, I'm just going to add strips behind the photos. So this is from one of the 6x8 paper pads that I had last year. And then I'm pulling in a stripy piece. I think that was a Simple Stories paper. And then this gorgeous red and white spot that I think might have been a crepe paper. I forget, I shouldn't really guess because I can't remember what these papers are. But like I say, just from my scraps bin really. The stripy one isn't even from the Christmas bin, it's just from the general papers. And then this lovely grey with white stars. I'm just trimming it down a little bit. It wasn't quite straight, and I did want these to be straight. And then trimming the edge off where it looks a little bit dirtier, where there's distressing on the printing. So just trimming that edge off. And then rearranging everything, of course. And now I'm just going to go through with my fingernails and just scuff up all the long edges on these papers before gluing them down. I didn't want too much texture on there, but I wanted a little bit because everything's going to be stuck down flat onto the page. So using my fingernails is a great way of adding a little bit of texture without too much. So I'm grabbing for my PVA glue and just sticking these strips down one at a time once I've distressed those edges. I probably should have cut some of this out. It's a bit boring, isn't it? Watching me just roughing edges up. But it's part of the process, I suppose, isn't it? So this is the first of probably many layouts that I'll be using Christmas papers for not so Christmassy layouts, because we went to New York. We went out on the 27th and came back on the 1st. Well, we left on the 1st of January. So there were still lots of Christmas decorations and things around, but it was after Christmas, if you like. Almost there now with this distressing. I did like that green plaid as well on the back of that grey star, but decided just to stick with that green stripy piece at the bottom, the scalloped papery piece, and then leave the rest as greys, blacks and reds. So last piece here, and I didn't really worry too much about the widths. I just went with what looked good or what felt good, and the lengths as well. They're more or less the same length, but all slightly different, just to, again, to provide a different interest in the background. And that's the beginnings. So now you can see I pulled out some bits from the papery pack in that little tray on the left hand side. So I'm just going through. I really wanted to use this washi sticker, that the circular one. I love these circular elements. So I'm going to stick that down quite early on, and then I should build up the rest. And my aim is to build up a slightly wider strip at the bottom of the photos. So you can see I'm trying different things to see how this is all going to work. I love that poinsettia because it brings in the red, but I didn't want too much of it showing, so I was just trying to work out where to put it. I was thinking about bringing 2 in, but I decided in the end that 1 is the right answer, and it doesn't stay where it is at the moment. I do move that to that position, and it overlaps really nicely onto that circular element, just bringing it down a bit so that I'm happy with the positioning. And then I love this pink heart and that word joy. So I have a little play about with those, and again that gets moved. I couldn't decide whether to use oh what fun or joy, but I do settle with joy in the end. So I remembered that I had this lovely skinny washi tape, and I just wanted to bring a little bit more black into the middle of the layout. So I've just stuck that down, and I will go in after I've finished filming and just glue that down with some glue on the ends just to make sure it stays in place. And things are starting to come together now. I'm happy with that washi sticker at the top that says the best time of year, and the joy title is going to stay where it is now. And now I'm just going into some of my older stash again to work out what else to add here. So first of all, these 6x12 chipboard pieces. I think this is a Vicki Boutin collection again. I find this Holiday Memories chipboard, which I think works really nicely at the bottom of the photo there. So I will have to add some wet glue to that because it's already drying up. It's a year old now, so starting to dry up on the adhesive. So just getting these photos glued down. I'm still having problems with my small glue bottle. I need to give it a really good clean out. It keeps clogging up, so I gave up and reached for my Nuvo. And then sticking that washi sticker down at the top. And that's just the best time of year. I love that sticker. Now this joy sticker is actually a washi sticker, but I wanted the opacity of it being on the white background, so I have kept it on the background and just stuck it down as is. I wanted to bring in another one of these circular elements. I love these wreath style pieces in the papery pack, so I just cut it in half because I know I want to tuck it underneath anyway. And then peel it off the backing and stick that down. And it's feeling very heavy on the left hand side at the moment, so I'm going to try and sort that out shortly. This is the start of me sorting that out. So I find this lovely chipboard bough, and because this arch is made up of lots of Christmas tree boughs, I thought that would be really nice. And then I see a tab, so of course I want a tab above the photos to add the date onto. And now I'm trying to build out those bottom corners of the photos. So I'm reaching into the goodie bag pack, and these gold branches are just lovely, so I'm trying to work with those. This one was definitely too long, and I'd already glued down that poinsettia, so I just snipped it in half. And then this one I've ripped in half. That was an acetate piece, a vellum piece, so I just trimmed that down. And then I'm just working out exactly how to position this all. So I decided to put that piece on the left with the other bit sticking out from behind it, and then use the bottom half of that paper piece and add in the vellum piece on top. And it's starting to look more even. Still a little bit heavy on the left hand side, but I will carry on to sort that out. So gluing all these bits down now, I'm happy with that. And now coming in with some sticker sheets. I see this little round piece that says so happy, and I just think, oh, that's really cute to add to the right hand side there. So I add that down, and then I'm going to go in with these stars on the next sheet and add a few of those dotted around to try and extend those lines out to the left and right towards the bottom of the photo. So choosing different shapes and different sizes of stars. And then that little red sticker is an old Rosie Studio, and it says family. So of course I had to use that. Little candy cane, which I thought would look cute at the right hand side. And then this just says so happy together, and we really were, the 4 of us. It was such a wonderful holiday. And then a little holly that I think will work nicely tucked in amongst this. It just breaks up all that gold and white that I've got going on there. There's a little bit of green, but it's quite sparse, that chipboard piece, so adding in this more solid green really brings that right hand side to life. There, more stars, and this little snowflake on a black circle I thought would look nice down there. And then I find this little tab that just says today, so I think that'll work nicely layered up with that other tab. And then this word piece that says Christmas Magic. And that arch is just there for Christmas, so I thought it would work perfectly. Now adding my date to that chipboard piece at the top, which was 30th of December. And then I remembered that I needed to stick this heart down, so just adding that there. And then I'm going to come in with my gold watercolour paint. First of all, I want to add some more rings because I've got those wreaths from the papery piece pack. I thought I would use my pen lid to add some smaller rings, and then I have got the inside of a washi tape that I'm going to use as well for a bigger ring on the right hand side. Again, just to balance things out a little bit more. And you can see I'm sticking my paintbrush inside the pen lid each time because it's creating an air bubble. So I just want to pop that air bubble, because if I don't, I'm just going to get a solid blob of paint. So you can see there, the washi tape ring was way too big to fit inside the watercolour palette. So I just painted that on with the paintbrush. And I have to move it around a couple of times to get the circle that I wanted. And then I'm going to add some more rings with my little pen lid. And then finally adding some splatters just to finish it off. Not doing any journaling. This is going in a huge album, so it didn't need any journaling on this page. And that's it done. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this process video, and I shall see you very soon. Bye.